I want to thank all of you guys for taking the time out. I'm Rohan. I'm from Hindustan Times.
Hi, Rohan.
Hello, Rohan.
Thank you.
Rohan. From Hindustan Times.
From Hindustan Times.
From Hindustan.
So I want to congratulate you guys first of all. I enjoyed the show very much.
आपने देखा?
Yay.
Pura dekha 5 episodes. It looks very nice. And as someone who's grown up with the famous 5, Tintin, Vyomkesh, Feluda.
Mukesh.
He's also Bhumkesh, by the way. Bhumkesh,
Yes.
yeah.
You're also Vyomkesh, yeah?
Yeah.
And so that brought back.
Yeah, nobody knew. Everybody knew.
So it brought back a lot of fond memories, from childhood. So I just want to know, what were your inspirations in creating this story?
Exactly what you said.
Okay.
We all wanted to relive our childhood. Do things which we could otherwise not do when we were growing up. And like the things that you read, we read the same thing, and we always wanted to be a part of that adventure. Go inside a cave, going to a lighthouse, but those things were not available, not in at least where we were staying, right? In Kolkata.
I actually had that. We had a little famous 5 group in Navla growing up.
So and so we never lived that. So this was our only excuse and opportunity to live, just live it again, and that's how this whole thing happened. And also we wanted children to save the world,
Yes.
as we have seen time and again when we were reading.
I think that particular aspect, Stephen King will be very proud of if he watches this show, and I hope he does. Because it's all about children, it's a world of adults, and the adults usually make bad decisions. The children are the ones who...
Yeah, they're more innocent. They don't have really a lot of parameters to take a decision. They go by the heart. What they feel, they do. Whereas we as adults tend to put a lot of, A, B, C, D, and then take a call. I think they go more organically, and we are a little more structured as adults. So,
But then that makes me want to... I wonder, because the show is... The central characters are ostensibly children, right? But I wonder if kids can watch the show. And that's something I thought about multiple times. I was like, can these children watch the show?
okay, that's a huge question, but I think yes, they can.
They can?
We have tried to keep it from their point of view. So I feel yes, it's one of those shows where the kids can watch along with their parents, or the parents can watch on their own, or kids on their own, because I mean that has been the attempt. We'll only know how much we have succeeded on 19th, but I think that's genuinely been the attempt to make something. And I also feel today's kids, they are much more sharper than we credit them for. They're much more sharper, and they're much more aware of things that's happening around them. They're much more accepting of different topics.
Yeah. And I don't know, in a way they're more mature in terms of
Way
what they've
mature.
experienced.
I mean,
And less fearful also.
yeah. I mean,
When
at
we were
their
as
age, I
kids.
was, sort of nothing compared to them. Like,
Should meet our 4 champions. They're less afraid of anything than 3 of us are.
Yeah.
It's just like,
That's true.
But they're very good in the show.
yeah, it's super.
yeah, and they're so sharp, if you think about it, right? Like we all have experiences, right, of thing, and these are the kids who are actually taking less than, I don't know, 2 minutes or 3 minutes to understand the whole gamut of emotion. Like, they're meeting Rohan for the first time in this location, but they've already met Rohan twice in another location, which we still haven't shot. So they're actually picking up emotions midway, which is pretty difficult for a lot of actors to do.
Yeah.
But they did it. They took that little time initially to understand, but once they understood, bam.
So, talking about the acting, I want to particularly speak about your character. I'm sure he had a lot to do with the direction it went in, but how difficult is it, would you say, as an actor to balance the tone of a character such as that and make him scary, but not make him, but not make him silly?
So sweet he was.
I thought I was very sweet.
Yeah, very sweet. Scary at all.
Yeah, so my question is like, how do you make him scary but not slip into that silliness, which is, I'm guessing, possible?
Yeah, it is.
No, that's the parameter he was watching. So we used to discuss, ye kare ya wo kare, this and that. He used to say, for me, he was the, what would I say, the line of which I can't cross. So yeah, there were times where I was about to cross, and he said, "Nahi, nahi, iske upar mat ja." and the regulator is on 8, usko 5 mein kar le. So there are certain things where he guided me, and also I don't as an actor I don't rehearse at all.
Okay.
I don't I read the script for once and then I go and read just before the scene. So for me, I don't have a preconceived stuff in my head and I go to the floor. I can't do that as an actor. So for me, wherever I'm shooting, say if I'm shooting in this room, this chair, I'm sitting here, this will help me a lot to emote my emotions. And I as an actor, I think about the characters, the way he has been brought up. Was he poor? Was he rich? Has he seen his parents in a very lovey-dovey way, or they used to fight a lot? Usme wo bada hua hai. Those are the things which I calculate in my head and I go to the floor. Apart from that, I usually don't. So I'm a director's actor. Whatever he has told me, I've tried and do it.
Your films have such a unique tone, right? There's like this playfulness that you can immediately identify, and this one retains that through the whole series. But your character in particular, I was struck by how he's basically like the Indian Hopper, right? He's such a nice guy, but he also has this streak of grief that he's dealing with, right? How difficult was that particular aspect to touch upon?
Well, again, like Jisshu said, Sujoy was a good guy to have on the set because he's written it primarily, and then he's also the director of it, so he's sort of juggling between both those and working with the actor. So that's great to have that. That guide, sort of guy who's drawing the lines for you and saying, don't cross here, don't go here, come back here, so you're in control there. But having said that, he is a character who is A, this responsible police officer, B, trying to be responsible father. At the same time, he's got a sort of playful relationship with his daughter, but he feels the weight and responsibility of bringing up this child by himself. So I mean, we tried to, guided by Sujoy, I tried to capture all those in everything that we did, because also his daughter's, so there's this bunch of murders going on, he's investigating them. His daughter's somehow associated to all of that's happening, so he's now even caught up in that. There's this whole supernatural business happening. Does he believe it? Does he not believe it? I think these were all sort of subconscious thoughts going on in the mind while in any scene that Ravi Anand was, and that's what I tried to sort of play on in my head. But again, nothing sort of preconceived, nothing. It was, I think what Sujoy achieved was he put everybody in the zone quite quickly. He put all of us, the kids, the other actors, everybody was quite there, many times when you're working on a project, you see some people are floating around and then that throws you off, because as actors, we're also reactors, so someone throws something at you, you react to what that person is doing. So in fact, Jisshu and me have a couple of scenes, just a few scenes together, you would have seen it, but I really enjoyed those scenes because we were just throwing at each other at one point. We were just like, ये क्या करेगा? मैं वो उसको लेके मैं कुछ करूँगा. So it was nice. And I think he created that atmosphere for all of us. He just put us into these places and said, now let's just stay there. And for
one
2
thing
months
which
we
he
were
said
there.
is very, very, very good, which he said, just mentioned, that he's the writer and he's the director. So he has seen his character already. In his mind, he has seen the film complete from episode 1 to episode 5. He has seen it. Now he's just seeing the character coming in with flesh and blood. So he knows exactly Ravi kahan jayega, Amit kya karega, and what PALOMI is going to go. So he exactly knows because he is the writer also.
One scene that really stuck out for me was the flashback with the origin of the fakir. And it's an interesting thing his mother tells him is that you have power, right? But it's what you do with the power, right? In someone else's hands, it could be problematic. Yeah. So I was wondering, as an actor, if you were to translate that thought into your profession, and you can take this one, what is that one weapon in your repertoire that you have that, if misused or abused, can put you in that bad situation that that you can bring out?
Just the power of being put in, in a part which is as substantial, and that can, hopefully bringing to the table honesty and, playing it from there. because otherwise, if you get caught up in the other things, then it can obviously have repercussions on your character. So that I think would be.
How about you guys?
I think if I'm not talking about only acting, if I'm talking about as an actor, I'm a public figure, so I should be responsible enough for any reason, whatever I'm saying on camera, on social media. I should be responsible enough because there are people who are following us, people who idolize us. So I shouldn't be a bad example for anything, whatever, how I speak, whatever I do, and take responsibility as far as the society is concerned. So I think that is more important because I have that power to change my fans' mind, and I can say probably just for heck of it I'm saying killing is good. I can't say that because that guy is following me. That person is following. So I think I have that responsibility. I have that power to bring in to bring in some goodness in the society, I guess. So.
Well, I agree with Jisshu completely on that because, I mean, you may have a certain set of thoughts and processes in your head that or things that you like to do and don't like to do, and sometimes you do wonder that how many people are you actually influencing with something you're doing. It does cross your mind. So it's a slight little burden that hits and says, okay, do I really want to do this? And especially when you have reactions of you meet people 10 years later and they've grown a beard that you had in a film, and they have it plaited and they say, hey, I saw this film and I have this beard. So I do other things also. You don't need to start doing them. So that comes. I think that's something you tend to naturally start holding back when you see that it's getting such a big response from people.
And which you can't see also.
You can't see it, yeah. You can't see it.
I was doing a little bit of research and I realized that you worked on Sense8 as well.
I did
Small
and
bit,
did
yeah.
not. I was there for a part, but the part, I think that bit got, I don't think it was in the show. It was a two-scener, I think. And then something in the track happened and the bit didn't get used.
How is a Wachowski set different from a Sujoy Ghosh set?
Well, every set is different. Every set.
Wachowski brothers or sisters?
Sisters now?
They're the Wachowskis now, yeah, but they're sisters now, but they're called the Wachowskis. I think every set is every set is different, so every comes with its own ways, and I think the director really defines that in different styles. Definitely, I've worked with Lana extensively, and Lana and Sujoy are very different in the way they approach working with actors, the way they approach scenes. Lana leaves a lot of it to you doing what you want and lets the camera follow you around. And I would imagine that, I don't know, I've just worked with her on one project. She would probably work differently on another project. That's how she approached Sense8, so that's all I know about. Whereas Sujoy likes to work with his actors, because again, but both of them are writing, when Lana writes, so I don't know, each person has their own individual way of approaching a project. I don't know, Sujoy, do you do that with when you work on another project, you approach it differently, and I would imagine that also happens.
I think it's all very organic, it's how you take it. Because my thing is, I don't know anything about acting, as evident in my film.
I beg to differ.
But see, they are actors, that's their job role. So whatever they bring to the table, I have to assess that first. Okay. And only if it's...
you do that, Sujoy, you do that.
Yeah. Let them do what they want, and then if it's going the right way, I'm okay with it. But if it's not, maybe I'll just fine-tune it a little. But at the end of the day, I need to see them doing what I'm paying them for. Sorry. Yeah, that's how it works.
Nobody does that. He's he waits to see what you're doing, and then he starts molding. But that's again the writer-director at work. So he's trying to sort of mold you as an actor or a person, as an individual, into the character that he has seen very clearly and knows what he wants. So he's sort of doing that. He does that a lot with actors. I've seen him do it on the set.
It has to be like that. I don't think there is any other way of doing it. Because if I am telling them exactly what to do, then all of them are becoming another part of me. It's just me in all of them, which is, after a while, pretty boring. So you have to let them be. Not just them, any actors for that matter.
It's fascinating. I think my time's up. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All the best
Hey, thank
for
you
the
so much,
show,
Ron.
all of you. Nice talking to you.
Did you like the show?
Yes.
How much?
Like, we have to, on camera, we are getting you to say, where's Jisshu?
Say 15 out of 10. Now. Action.